When's your purple wedding? I want you poisoned, is what I'm saying. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners, your favorite full spoiler reread podcast of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series, reading A Storm of Swords. As always, I am your favorite host, Zach, and sitting here next to me, your least favorite host, Nate. My brother also, but least favorite host.
I disagree.
Of course you do, but that's why you're the least favorite, because you are so unagreeable. If you haven't joined us before, we are full spoiler, so if you are not caught up to date with all current content, canon and not, I don't know what the not canon stuff is, but...
There's that, I have the book, that White Dragon one, where it's a girl.
The Ice Dragon.
The Ice Dragon.
Yeah. Well, that's, like, not related at all, tangentially.
I think it takes place in a...
I think he's confirmed it doesn't.
Right,
though.
not canon.
Right, not canon. That's what the fuck I said, Nate.
Wild
Jesus.
Cards? That's not canon to Westeros.
I've not read it, though.
Right, because it's not canon.
It's not canon.
Why read it?
So you will get spoiled on
canon.
Not Wild Cards, but also canon.
I could spoil on Wild Cards. I read the first one.
Ooh.
Tachyon particles.
Get off
That's
your
about all I
fucking
remember.
pedestal. So... Hey, it's good to see you. Good to hear you. No, you're hearing us, and you're not seeing anybody. So, hi.
You suck at this. This episode, we are reading Tyrion 8. If you joined us last time, we were reading Sansa 4, which is the chapter that occurred just before this chapter takes place.
Yeah, I suck at it.
Well, you didn't do any of it, so at least I'm trying.
The last episode was the one that took place before this one.
No, the chapter took place immediately before. See, you're just being an asshole now. I was perfectly on point there. No issues until you raised
It's
King
wedding
for nothing.
season. Everybody's getting married, and in Westeros, that's not a good thing. Actually, just in this series, that's not a good thing. So, as we know, the Red Wedding just recently happened, and for some reason, King's Landing is like,
let's have another one.
You know what's a good idea? Let's just test our fate. Plus, I also couldn't help but thinking during this chapter, as well as, the Red Wedding, about Melisandre's whole little leech prophecy that's hanging above Stannis' camp over there, where she burned the leeches and said 3 names, and then she was questioned about it, and then was like, so, just stick with me. If Joffrey were to die, surrounded amongst all his knights and lords and men, would you believe then? And that's what we're going to get here today.
Yeah, as much as I hate you, I'm glad you brought that little point up because of how prominently Martin is going to shove in our face how guarded and protected and
there's literally no
watch.
way to kill this fuck, yet some way it happens. And it's that. Even Tyrion, who is, let's get this out of the way, Tyrion's a problem. Tyrion is a fucking problem this chapter. We love him, but he's a bit of a mess.
He's a pretty big mess. That's what's so funny is... the future is where he's supposed to be this huge mess, right? In Dance with Dragons.
He's a fucking train wreck.
He's
here.
always been a mess.
Yeah, he's been a train wreck.
It's coming to its head now.
Well, since he married Sansa, he has been an absolute train wreck.
Right.
And we actually see how much of a terrible person he is. But yeah, it's been a great little 1-2-1-2 that Martin's doing here, like he did with the Red Wedding. Back then it was Catelyn Arya. This one is Sansa Tyrion. So we had Tyrion and his little hookup with Shae the morning of, which means, he's got no sleep and was just dreading everything to do with his relationship with Shae, yet for some reason still thinks it's a good idea. And then we get Sansa, who very much so just doesn't want to deal with any of the Lannisters and their bullshit.
Even though she is one now.
She was
They're
made one, right.
Now.
They made of her a Lannister, which is one of my favorite lines of that chapter. And so Sansa, we got the actual morning of instead of the night before of with Tyrion and Shae. Sansa was actually getting ready and did breakfast with the Lannisters, at which the gifts were given to Joffrey. A bunch of magnificent gifts that the little shithead doesn't deserve.
Especially that saddle.
And then, of course, right, that he's never going to fucking use. And then the gift from Tyrion and Sansa Although I'm pretty sure Tyrion just wrote Sansa's name on the card. But it was the lives of the four kings, which he then promptly cut in half. And as we learned, this was one of 4 copies in the realm. So
one of 3 now.
it's a great showing that Joffrey cares not for knowledge or anything resembling tact in any way, shape, or form. And we got some of the new developing wisdom of Sansa, who very much so is over this King's Landing bullshit. And the ceremony and pomp of it all doesn't appeal to her anymore, as she straight up calls Cersei's maiden cloak threadbare and is like, look at that shit. That shit ain't worth shit.
Right,
and so we open up on Tyrion 8 as the actual purple wedding. The deed will be done. And right off the top, I just want to say, I fucking love this chapter. This is a very fun chapter. There's so much happening. I think, and we discussed it a little bit, I do think that HBO's version of it nailed it. It's a great...
Yeah, it's all right.
I do like the way they put it outside, and they made the events occur more during the day, like much earlier in the day than, as like we know, Joffrey dies at nightfall here.
Right.
Night has well and truly fallen by the time Joffrey starts coughing. And so, yeah, I think the show nailed it. I think them choosing to bring the festivities outside was an actually interesting choice, as for me, and Nate and I have discussed it just a little bit off mic, but obviously the throne room is much bigger in the books than it was portrayed ever in the show. But it's still hard for my little brain to wrap around this many people being in the throne room.
He has no imagination because he's an idiot.
Clearly. I DM'd a 60-year-long campaign that made Nate cry at the end, but I have no imagination. So.
Or proof of that, so.
I've got 3 other people that were in the room. Anyway, we open as Tyrion is witnessing Joffrey and Margaery being married by the High Septon, and we open on the crown, the High Septon's new crown that was gifted to him by Tywin, that is all about honor and station and ridiculousness.
It's kind of the complete opposite of Robb Stark's crown. That was just that plain.
It's the complete opposite of what a High Septon's crown should fucking be.
Any
like,
religious
this
figure.
is purely about status.
Right.
And Tyrion, I like, even calls it a glory of crystal and spun gold. Like, this is just to show how rich and fucking wonderful we all are. There's a bunch of rainbow lights being cast from it, and even Tyrion is like, damn, I wonder how his head is bearing that weight. And, like, you know, we get a lot of that talk of heavy lies the crown, and, you know, but this is purely, like, motherfucker got ripped apart for this reason. Like, this is why the last High Septon kind of got fucked up about it. Is for the indulgence, exactly. And this is why later down the road, we're going to get a certain High Sparrow who, I don't know if it's High Sparrow, but we're going to get some sparrows that come in and are like, no, the faith is all about minimalism and not doing
sparkly
anything.
Crowns.
Right. But Tyrion must also admit that Joffrey and Margaery, they're hot.
They're a handsome
like,
couple.
They
up
are
there.
fucking regal as shit up there, standing between the gilded statues of the mother and the father. And again, we're getting pointed out of the gilded statues, the pomp, the richness, the overindulgence that this wedding is.
I do like applying the he notes that they're getting married between the mother and the father statues, but, you know, always bringing Arya into things and the faceless men, and there's only one true God, and so it doesn't matter if they're standing beneath the mother and the father. This motherfucker's dead.
It's interesting that you bring up Arya, because death does loom heavy over this chapter before we even get to it.
Yeah.
Tyrion is literally praying for that statue of the father to fall over and crush his nephew. Like, absolutely. And again, we get touches, because Tyrion isn't completely out of touch. He notes that, like, yeah, this is all happening, and there's a fucking city out there that's starving.
Right.
Like, and so the absolute indulgence is wild. Margaery had come to them, indeed, a Tyrell maiden, looking absolutely resplendent in a maiden's cloak of 100 cloth of gold roses sewn onto green silk. Just
the most
ridiculous,
embellished
right?
Nonsense. Yeah. He starts making some of his. Remember, we said he's a mess. Some of his crew.
He wonders if she's a maiden,
right?
Indeed, and that leading into Feast will become a actual question of whether or not Marjorie's been sleeping around, but it's not by Tyrion. It will be by Cersei. But he also then thinks not that Joffrey would know the fucking difference either way, even if Renly did deflower her or some other knight. Joffrey ain't like to know.
I don't think Renly did the deflowering there. I don't think so.
You don't know.
I don't know.
He's got
it's
fingers.
Not the show. Like, I don't know.
He's got fingers. Loras could have joined.
I don't know.
There's a million different things that could have occurred there.
But Tyrion basically wants to get the fuck out of here. He's ready to be done. He's got a piss. He's sick of this farce. So he kind of just lets his mind wander. I don't know what word I was thinking there.
Water. Well, water. He's got to pee.
Right.
But Joffrey is also looking resplendent, and Tyrion does note that his crown looks nice and light upon his brow, which, again, Joffrey doesn't understand the weight of being king. Like, any true king wears that weight, and
that's
Joffrey,
not a heavy crown to him.
Joffrey's is not at all a heavy crown, and then Tyrion bitterly thinks, I saved that bloody crown for him. And bloody, it's similar to the Hound saying to Arya, if you stop your bitching, we'll hurry up and get you in time for your brother or your cousin, Uncle Edmure, Uncle's bloody wedding. And so, bloody crown, bloody.
So his thoughts turn towards the cat's paw.
Yeah.
And how he put that together last chapter.
He ought to have seen it long ago. Jaime would absolutely never send anyone to do his killing.
Right.
Cersei is
too smart to send that kind of a moron, the cat's paw.
That can be traced to her.
Too easily.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. And so, the Joffrey, though, the arrogant little wretch that he is, ... it makes sense. So
yeah, I do like how he brings up like the third chapter of Game of Thrones when
he recalls
when he slaps him
the morning at Winterfell. He Joffrey jesting with the Hound about killing wolves and sending a dog to kill a wolf, and Tyrion's like, no, he wouldn't have even sent the Hound because the Hound would have told Cersei like, hey, he wants to kill Bran,
right?
And so even Joffrey's not dumb enough to do that, to send Sandor to kill a son of Eddard Stark, and so he found a cat's paw, some poxy lackwit, looking to earn favor and coin, and
went into Robert's weapon room, which there was just a fucking ton of them. He brought them all with him from
Tyrion even says, like, it may not have been that Robert brought them, but just someone in his retinue was like, let's make sure that Robert has access to them all, because God forbid I'm the person that Robert's like, bring me my dagger, and I'm like, oh shit, we didn't bring it, your grace, like, so let's bring them all. And so Joffrey went, picked through, because he thinks Joffrey's own dagger was resplendent, but it wasn't Valyrian steel, and so at least he had that foresight to not use his own. And then Tyrion recalls the I am no stranger to Valyrian steel, and like that quote itself, but he's like, but clearly you were, otherwise you wouldn't have sent Littlefinger's dagger, you dumb little shit. But the why still eludes him.
Yes.
And, you and I were talking on it a bit. There's some murmurings in the fandom that something about this is bad writing. This cat's paw, this Tyrion putting it together, that it was Joffrey. And I don't really understand that. I don't get what the issue people have with this is.
It's pretty cut and dry to me that Tyrion figured it out, and we mentioned, Jaime mentions this later on in the series. But at this point, most of the people that would have anything to do with the cat's paw and the dagger are dead or not around anymore.
Don't
so
give
what does
a
it
shit,
matter?
right?
That dagger, Catelyn would have been a big one. She's dealing with that as Stoneheart. Like, she is going to take care of that as best she can, but Joffrey's dead. Most of the Lannisters are dealt with, so what's Stoneheart going to do
And the why
them?
of it is very simple in that Robert was heard to say it would probably be a mercy for Bran to die.
It's that. He wanted to...
And Joffrey wanted to garner favor with Daddy, and so, like, I can make that happen, and that's it. Like, the why of it isn't nearly as... complicated as this.
And that we could even speculate that he overheard Cersei and Jaime talking not actually about what they were doing, but about, him not...
He saw too much.
He saw too much.
He can't say what he knows. And
so
Joffrey being like, I'll make sure he don't, Mom. Like, I got it, because I'm a good kid, and I'm not even a good kid, but, like, I know what's up and can handle my family's shit. And so, I'm not sure listeners, if you have any like thoughts on that, on if this is bad writing to you for some or any reason, please let us know. I am curious about it. There was a post on Reddit is mainly what I'm referencing here, and it seemed like that was a major consensus on that post, and it just kind of confused me. But
yeah, what it comes down to for Tyrion though is that he's mad at himself for letting Joffrey know that he's aware.
He knows,
that
I know,
he was
he
involved.
knows, I know. My big mouth is going to get me fucking killed, he thinks. And yeah, So the 7 vows are said, the 7 blessings are blessed, the 7 promises are promised. There's a lot of fucking 7 nonsense.
Yeah, the 7 gods. So it's religion has fucking wild rituals. Every religion ever has those. So of course they're going to make it as flamboyant and rambunctious as possible. They exchange their cloaks, you know.
Tyrion's first real problematic thing of the day. He is still extremely resentful of Sansa for not bending her cold, stark knees for him and making him climb upon a fool's back to drape her under the maiden cloak of, like, get fucked. She didn't want anything to do with this marriage.
This is his entitlement.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would you think
you're
a Lannister?
Why does she have to spare you embarrassment?
You're a fucking Lannister.
Right. She was embarrassed to be married to you at all, to be associated with your fucking family.
While your family was murdering hers.
Right,
like, go fuck yourself, Tyrion.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Joffrey, he's hoping Joffrey will fuck it up, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I like that he wonders, and it really caught my attention. Tyrion wonders who will protect Marjorie from Joffrey.
Yeah. Yep.
Olenna will take care of that.
Yeah,
no worries.
Because it's that he cloaks her, and that, of course, Joffrey cloaking Marjorie is meant to be symbolic of taking her under his protection. But who the fuck is going to protect her from him? And then he thinks, Sir Loras, you better keep that blade sharp. But, you're looking at the wrong Tyrell there.
Right.
And so they kiss, and it's done.
Joffrey yells, and then they kiss. But,
Yes. And we get the royal procession out, you know, it's the mixing of the families coming together, Tywin leading Marjorie's mother, and Mace and Cersei, and then Tyrion and Sansa are also part of this little royal procession. And outside, the crowd is roaring. They love Marjorie enough to love Joffrey as well.
Right.
And Tyrion kind of begrudgingly is like, oh yeah, but they fucking won't remember that it was Mace Tyrell who closed the Rose Road and made it so that everyone's starving in the first place.
So while he's having this pity party, I would like to point out that it is going to be here in a little bit a fucking Tyrell who is lifting him up. No, we'd be fucked if it wasn't for Lord Tyrion's chain. No, we'd be screwed if he didn't clear the beaches for us.
Garland is such a badass
so cool.
boss in this chapter.
When they get out there is the first time that Sansa speaks to him for the most part that day, and she's talking about how it was a beautiful ceremony. Mm-hmm. Like, this is great.
Right. It's splendid. They go up, and Tyrion says his well wishes.
So before that, he mentions that he wishes that he could have been like the clever one, Littlefinger,
and got out of the city.
Was not in the city.
Yeah. Made up some excuse.
Is he not in the city? Is he not just outside the city? Is he right there?
Is he not waiting for your lady wife? But yeah, he goes up, says his congratulations. Luckily, there's a whole line, so they can't take too long. Yeah. He presses his weird little lips against Marjorie's fingers, and then they're off. And he immediately in their litter starts reflecting on how pretty Sansa is, how gorgeous she is, how
haunted she looks, but that makes her look even more
because she's
beautiful.
Vulnerable. Like Groomer 101, terrifying.
Holy fucking shit. Just this whole like, if only she would let me, you know.
He wants so badly to break through her armor of courtesy. Like, he desires it more than anything.
Yeah, so he stupidly does make an attempt to try and cheer her up, and she's just like, whatever you say. He suggests
a trip to the Casterly Rock to cheer her up.
Right.
Hey, let's go to the place of my family, the ones who slaughtered yours.
I'll show you these cool things that you never want to see.
Where you'll feel more isolated than you ever have in your life.
Right.
And then he realizes kind of immediately of like, because she looks at him. She looks up at him
and says whatever you desire.
And he's like, I know what she's seeing when she looks at me. My stubby, cut-off nose, my fucking shrunken brow because I'm a dwarf, and everyone hates me because Shay hates me.
Yeah, Mr. Armor. Use it as an armor. He's the most whine-ass guy.
Yeah, his self-hatred makes him rescind that offer, and like that, Sansa is doing as you just said, the armor yourself in. She's armoring herself in courtesy, and that's impenetrable to him.
Yeah.
He cannot get through it because she's like, yeah, whatever pleases my lord. And he's like, I want to know what pleases you. And she's like,
pleasing you.
Pleasing you would please me. And like, damn, yeah. Like, I cannot find a fucking niche in this armor to like get to her. Thank God for her. But he does want to be gone before Joffrey fully comes into his power, before Joffrey is fully a man and doesn't have to answer to anyone, because he suspects that every dwarf will be finding themselves just a little bit shorter, meaning losing their heads.
Right.
And Tyrion included. So he speaks of Braavos, wrong sister, and again meets nothing but a wall of courtesy, as icy as the wall he once walked. I am fucking obsessed with comparing Sansa to the wall. Like,
sure,
her courtesy is a fucking impenetrable 800-foot wall. Girl, you're killing it. Sansa is queen.
Because he ends up in Braavos, does he not, at some point in the...
Tyrion?
Yeah.
Because
he mentions here he's always wanted to see the Titan.
Yeah.
And I feel like he sees it or passes through it in the crate
I think it's in the crate where he's still hidden.
He's going to see it.
I don't think he gets to see it. I don't think he gets to... I'm not 100%, but I don't think he gets to, and I think it's great that it's going to be Arya, like at the end of this book, who's on her way to Braavos.
But I do like the little nod of him traveling east here. It's that little bit, but
yeah, he's desperate to get the fuck out of the city. He's pretty done with it, knowing that he's lost all his power here, but he lets it go. The rest of the ride is in silence, even though he is wishing she would say anything, but she doesn't. Good for her. She just fucking lets that silence ride. Yeah. Fuck you. So they separate for the feast. He notes he hears Marjorie giggling and laughing as Joffrey scoops her up off of the horse. And again, he gets all like, poor me, I couldn't do that. So, whiny, whiny, whine. He meets up with Podrick, who Podrick's being adorable, and is like, yeah, I laid out your doublet on the bed, in the bedchamber. And
at least that's handsome. There's a good-looking doublet.
Yeah, he immediately asks for some wine after taking his piss, which, like, then he some good pisses are like a woman, and Jesus Christ, Tyrion.
Yeah, and then he broods for a bit.
He ruminates on the War of the Five Kings and thinks how basically consolidated the Lannisters' power is. They have routed any enemy they have. The sea is theirs. The
mountains in the middle, clearing it out, and
Duskendale comes up. LOL.
Fucking
Duskendale.
But yeah, he decides right here and now, according to him, War of the Five Kings is over. You got a couple hours left yet before Stannis wins it, so give it a minute.
LOL.
Give it a minute
before Stannis wins it. The fuck. But he goes to begin getting dressed for the feast.
Whoa. He's the last remaining of the Five Kings, right?
Stannis?
Yeah.
Stannis and Joffrey.
When Joffrey dies, I said in a few hours.
The Lannisters are still hold King's Landing.
But he's the last king. So therefore he is the winner by default.
Also a king.
Not yet. He wasn't part of the War of the Five Kings though. And so the only one left of the War of the Five Kings,
Joffrey wasn't a part of the War of the Five Kings. It was Tywin from fucking the get.
He's dead too, so...
Lols. So he enters, and Shay is helping Sansa, and he thinks joy and grief, laughter and tears, he compares them to, which I like a lot, and I can't quite put my finger on why. Mainly, I do think he's got it wrong. And I'm not 100% sure why, but I do think that, like, both of them are representative of both in different ways, and that, very soon here, Shay is going to absolutely be the cause of his grief and tears.
Well, yeah, it's also the fun, like, today's a joyful day, it's a wedding day, that's going to end in tragedy, quote unquote, not for us, we love it.
Right.
But the
and same with
irony
Sansa.
Of a joyful wedding occasion. So, yeah, with his...
The next Sansa chapter opens with her kind of almost hysterically, because she's sobbing, and she's not sure why she's sobbing when she hears the bells ringing to toll Joffrey's death. But then she kind of almost hysterically starts to laugh as well. And so...
Which is why
joy and grief, laughter and tears, it's beautiful. Sansa is absolutely gorgeous, and she's got her silver hairnet.
Right, she's being dolled up by Shay,
with the
which
dark
is fun.
gems.
And that it's so funny that Shay, who's going to turn her damn back on Tyrion. I mean, again, I don't know how much turning your back there is on that guy, but she's the one that put the means of delivery into the hair for
and
Sansa.
does it wrong because, the wind's been at her hair. We're not told of any wind today, and so I purely am blaming Shay that she didn't do it right.
See, I disagree. I think that was a BS line for Olenna to be able to reach.
Oh, 100% it was a BS line,
don't
but
put that on
there were
Shay.
strands of
That's
hair
the
she needed to tuck in.
I think that Olenna would have gotten away with it even if there was perfectly pristine hair on her head.
Well, I guess I'm just mad because this next part made me irate. Shay asks Sansa to serve at table, which annoys Tyrion and is the one time in this chapter that I agree with Tyrion. What the fuck are you doing, Shay? What the fuck are you?
Let's start. Sansa can't make that happen.
Sansa has nothing to...
She is not going to be the queen today. She can't make that happen.
And it's also... it reminds me of your boys. Of the, Dad, can I have a snack? Uncle Zach, can I have a snack? You don't...
Right,
ask
she
one
asked
parent
this morning,
and then turn and ask the other.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing, Shay? Fuck you. I hate this woman. She is the worst. And Tyrion, so Sansa answers, she's like, the queen chose all the servants.
Right.
And is orchestrating I have no and then Tyrion's like, yeah, there's gonna be singers all about the castle. There's gonna be tents and shit for the other lowborn people.
And that's what I was gonna say is, if you think back to the feast way back in Game of Thrones in Winterfell, there were all sorts of people. Granted, Winterfell is a much smaller ordeal.
Right, but they're
kicking it at the end of the table.
Even
that
at
are
the Red Wedding,
waiters.
they had the
and
bastards
I was gonna say,
feast.
you also outside.
That was
they had the
funner.
tents
It
for
was
smaller
the
things.
fun place to be.
And so there is going to be a party to attend, Shay. You're just trying to be an uppity bitch.
She wants
get the fuck out.
She wants to rub elbows with royalty. It's not enough for her to be in fucking King's Landing in service of Lady Sansa Stark. I'm never calling her Sansa Lannister. It's not enough for her to be in service of Sansa Stark, fucking pretty much as high as she can safely go here without drawing attention that leads to death. Yet it's not enough. I want to be walking around where Cersei can fucking stare at me and be like, she doesn't belong here.
Right.
She's a whore, and she needs to die. This is proof to me that Shay is not a good player of the Game of Thrones. She could learn so much from Shataya and Alaya.
Yeah, she stumbles into an opportunity with Tywin.
Absolutely.
And she takes advantage of it because that's all she knows.
She doesn't even take advantage. She's getting taken advantage
She's getting
of.
traded
Tywin
for.
is using her to get at his son.
Right.
It's not a fucking Shay made that happen. This proves to me how bad Shay is at playing the Game of Thrones and absolutely would end up dead if it didn't happen with Tywin.
Absolutely. Yeah, I put for my note there, Shay catches shit for trying to talk her way into the feast.
Deservedly.
What do you think?
Because he bites back his annoyance. No, he should have been sharper with her of servants are chosen.
I'm going to disagree. This stupid little cunt Tyrion shouldn't have brought her in the first place. So he needs to shut the fuck up and stop going, why are you causing problems when he caused his own fucking problems.
That's true.
But yes,
he's thought a million times I should send her away, and he should have.
Right.
He should have acted on it, it's too late.
It happens more times in here, too, where he says, I should do this thing, and then doesn't do that thing.
Right, 100%.
To his detriment.
Yeah, absolutely,
always.
You're right on that, too. Yes, this chapter is full of, I should have, but I'm not gonna.
Right. So they make their way outside.
They go to the feast,
area.
and they've got to start politicking. They got to start greeting all the other lords and ladies.
I wrote politicking, too.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And Tyrion immediately notes, Sansa's fucking good at this.
Yo, this bitch is good at this.
She knows all the right things to say.
She knows their brothers, dogs, fucking sisters.
Tells Lord Giles that his cough is sounding better. Spoiler alert, it's not.
It's not sounding better.
She tells Lancel, who's looking rough,
that it's inspiring his recovery.
That he looks great. Glad to see you here, bud. You're fucking doing great, even though your dad's having to hold you up. And Sir Kevin's beaming because of this too.
Yeah.
And
What I think is funny is she is how everyone perceives Marjorie. Like, with this thing, you know, being the love of the people, the very good...
Rhaenyra,
but
the Realm's Delight.
But Sansa, because of her naivete, raised in the North, not knowing the evil politics that's happening, she is the legitimate good queen. If she got the chance to be... She is
the Realm's Delight. Good Queen Sansa.
Whereas Marjorie... I adore.
She's playing.
I think that Marjorie's a great player of the game.
100%.
And she's putting on the face of the... Sansa doesn't know that she shouldn't be just wearing the face. She's just a kind person.
So I was going to wait until later. Does Marjorie know Joffrey dies today?
I've been thinking on that a while. Let's keep going.
Sure.
Decide what I feel later on.
Because, Tyrion thinks she would have made Joffrey a great fucking wife and a great queen if he had the sense to love her. And then he's like, but honestly, he wonders if Joffrey has the capability of loving anything.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's pure sociopath.
I agree.
That he knows.
I absolutely agree.
He's good he can fake it. Clearly, here he's faking it. He's doing and saying all the right things.
Because that's why I think that Tyrion wasn't completely off when he said that he wouldn't know the difference if Marjorie was a maiden or not.
He has no interest in sex.
He doesn't give a fuck
about
sex.
Yeah, he has no interest in sex.
He just wants to cause harm. He wants to better himself.
And he knows that, like, it's his duty to get her pregnant.
Right, he's going to do it.
Right, but he has no interest in sex.
Right, so that's why I think that the show putting, like, the dead whores and that had gotten shot by his arrows, that is much more like that will get him off.
The only other thing I would think is that he's secretly gay. And, like, is so adverse to it.
Sure.
And I would love, like, that reveal that, like, Joffrey was interested in men and was so self-hating about it.
Sure,
and,
it's
like,
very, what's his name from It there does the...
Oh, right. Yes. I don't remember which one it is. But, yeah.
The bully gets taken advantage of by his...
In the show, that's what vibes I got from that of, like, he has no interest in women. Like, that offends him that you sent him women.
Right.
But... I honestly now more lean, especially for book Joffrey, that it's just, no, sex just doesn't interest him because he doesn't have the capacity to be emotionally available for anyone in any reason. Any reason at all, yes.
Yes, so then we get the queen herself of Thorns coming up to chat. Just a little chat. Actually, she's here. She spotted across the yard that the wind just gusted Sansa's hair.
She has a job to do, actually, and she's here to fucking do it. So...
I don't. I'm going to answer now. I don't think Marjorie knew beforehand that the Joffrey was going to die, because a few different little things where she's trying to calm him down, call him back. Granted, could be her placement of, like, I'm helping to ensure that the poisoning happens, but I don't think that Marjorie knows the poisoning is going to happen. Sure. I feel like she might have been working on something to tolerate Joffrey while she's married to him, but I don't think she necessarily expected it, because I don't think that Olenna and maybe even dumbass Mace, I don't think Olenna would trust Mace.
No, Mace does not know.
But I don't think Olenna would want Marjorie to know just out of fear of accidental implication.
I think Marjorie's too good at the game. I think she absolutely is in the know.
Sure.
I think her mother, Lady
Allery
and Mace don't. And it helps sells it.
Yeah, I think Olenna, I could see going through it all by herself.
Sure.
But I suppose, like, it wouldn't surprise me if Marjorie knows in the least bit.
So yeah, it's not so much what Olenna is saying here as to what she's doing. And yeah, as you pointed out, she fusses with Sansa's hair, and it's her pulling out what she needs. It's her getting the poison.
And she also, in a way that's allowed so that she doesn't get branded a traitor, offers her condolences.
Your brother
to
was a horrible murderous traitor, and then kind of makes a joke about, like, you know, if they start murdering men at weddings, they'll be more afraid of commitment. Right. LOL. She knows what's fucking happening here today. Like, LOL. But yeah, she absolutely is like, I'm so sorry for your losses, sweet girl. And then ribs the shit out of Tyrion.
Well, yeah, because she invites Sansa to Highgarden.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I want her to go. I want her to go to Highgarden.
I hope so.
She can't, like, to me, it's that it doesn't matter what prison cell she's in until she gets home and it's being built up.
Right, till she's Queen of the North.
She's never truly going to feel comfortable.
But yeah,
she gives Tyrion so much shit, and I love it.
Yeah.
Just talking mad. Oh, Master of Coin, you're doing great.
Dwarves, pennies,
Yeah.
LOL. Yeah, yep. And so, yeah, then she's like, all right, like 77 courses, I need to go and fucking get started on this shit, and calls for left and right and makes her way off. And then they enter the throne room, and it's absolutely sardine packed. Tyrion, of course, feels the eyes on him. Are there any eyes on him?
Doubt it. I doubt
it. This is such an event.
So, yes.
This is the Met Gala.
In the way that they're walking the red carpet. The eyes are dripping past
Sansa's
the
hot
chain.
as fuck right now.
They're not looking at your
They're
dumbass.
like, damn, look at Sansa. Look at that. Is that Sansa
Right.
Stark?
And then immediately, basically behind them is Olenna, and so it's
Right.
like this. It's like if you're at
It's
the
the
red
who's
carpet,
who, yeah.
and there goes Jennifer
The
Aniston and her little
paparazzi,
dumbass
right.
boyfriend,
You would
whoever
have
that
the
is
weird,
this week.
like,
That's Tyrion.
Joan Rivers. And here come Sansa and Tyrion looking lovely this
Right.
evening.
Sansa is wearing
Yeah, right,
something
exactly.
from the right.
She's wearing Cersei seamstress that will make her fat later in feast. Look at, she's darling. She seems to be missing a gem from her headdress, but it doesn't matter. She's regal. Like, fuck you egotistical fuck. I love Tyrion. I love Tyrion as a character. This chapter, he fucking annoys the shit out of me.
He says a lot of stupid shit.
Yes, he is so, and like, he's been drinking all day, which, you know, obviously, dude's a fucking hardcore alcoholic, but like, he is so dumb in this chapter that it is mind-blowing. And so, yeah, no, the eyes aren't on you because you're this hideous fucking dwarf. And again, with Garland, we'll see that there's probably more than a few people who are like, yo, there's like the real
There
hero.
he
There's the
is.
real hero
Right.
of Blackwater right
Right.
there. Like, damn, look at him go.
So then Joffrey and Marjorie enter
Hell
after
yes,
because
they
Tyrion makes it to his seat. They are riding big ass white horses into the room.
Gotta make an entrance.
And then, as I had mentioned earlier, they are escorted to their seat by the King's Guard. So they can't even walk
Right.
to the end of the throne room without protection. Just, once again, Martin going, look how safe he is. Look
This
how
event
good
and
it
that
all
it's,
is.
you know, obviously Tywin helped orchestrate the Red Wedding. He's taking no chances here. Like,
right.
he
Don't want any kind of retaliation.
vengeance,
Yeah.
right, would be sweet to absolutely kill the fucking king and queen at their wedding, but no, that ain't happening under Tywin's watch. And then we get the embracing of the in-laws.
Yeah.
And like,
Family's
aw,
kiss.
Yeah, family's kiss.
Except for Tyrion.
No one wants to kiss the dwarf.
Yeah,
though.
did you step up to offer to do, like, because I doubt that. Like,
And this is also literally like a breath after he's like, yeah, we got seated at the far end, which like someone more prickly would be like upset about, but I wish there was more. And it's that like,
they're not offering
right,
to kiss me, though.
so you're happy to be removed from it, but yet you want to be embraced
Right.
as an in-law.
Being at the end, you can't expect
Yeah.
all of them to walk all the fucking way down here. Get up and move in if
right,
you would
go
like to
over
be
and
involved.
be like, Mace, great to see you, bud.
Right.
How you doing?
Exactly.
So immediately Joffrey raises Mace Tyrell's
Giant ass
the chalice in toast to his queen, which everyone starts to shout Marjorie because everyone loves Marjorie, and the 77 course feast begins. I do fucking love the way Martin starts to, and it's not right here, it's not immediate, but he starts to basically compare the musicians and the entertainment with the food. They kind of come in pairs.
Yeah.
But we start with basically Sansa takes a little taste of the first dish and then puts it aside, and Tyrion's like, are you well? And she's like, I got a little tummy and there's 77 courses, so like I'm gonna pace myself. And then she kind of nervously tucks a strand of hair and looks over at Joffrey and Marjorie, and Tyrion's like, oh, she wishes she was in Marjorie's place.
Does she, Tyrion?
Even a
Does
child should know better. And like, I've never wanted to hit Tyrion more than this, because no the fuck she does not.
Like, after the time that you have spent with her, how could you possibly imagine that she wishes she was... Like, don't get me wrong. There may be part of her that, man, I wish things could have worked out and I could have been the queen with a king that wasn't a fucking psychopath. But in no way is she like, damn, I missed my chance to be with Joffrey. Yeah. I could have been there.
To me, it's that, like, right, I, at one point, wanted to be her. I wanted that to be me. And so she's looking up nervously. One, I think just making sure that Joffrey hasn't been like, oh, yep, time to go fuck with them.
Right.
But also in that, like, I desired that more than anything at a time. And now I am fucking terrified. Like, just the thought of that being me makes me want to puke in this fucking stew. And so this is such a bad take from Tyrion, the fucking king at, reading people and, like, knowing what people want and da-da-da. No, she does not want to be Marjorie here. She is fucking thanking her 7 gods that she is not.
Right, that she managed to escape that part of it.
Such a bad fucking take on her. And so, he's like, because, he starts looking around because he wants a distraction and starts seeing happy women everywhere.
I suppose, we can almost pull him aside and throw in the mental health discussion of, like, when you're in such a poor state, you can't help but see that everyone around you is happy.
Every happy couple makes you pissed.
But he's a whiny bitch about everything right now, so I'm going to not give him that out.
It's also the fact that, like, I would almost guarantee that none of the women he points out are quote-unquote happy, like he's making it out. Being a woman in this society you are a second-class citizen. You are not treated with any agency of your own. And so even the Fossaway, the pregnant Fossaway, where he's like, oh, her and her husband he puts his hand protectively. Right, he's protecting his heir.
I was going to say, it's sure, yes, protecting his heir,
King
but also
Viserys with
possessive.
Emma Arryn.
This is mine.
Right.
This isn't, oh, I love her so much.
It's the royal,
You're mine.
It's the royal womb. This baby is mine. That's my heir. That's my legacy, my future.
Right. This is my biological incubator. There's what I care about right there.
So, yes, I'm going to give her a kiss because love is in the air. It's a wedding thing.
And because she can't say no.
But, right.
I mean, again, who knows? It's possible that one in every 400,000
we do get the
marriages
Neds and the Catelyn's who make it work eventually.
and do fall in love.
But, like, no, Tyrion.
Right.
That's not.
What he's doing right now is scrolling Facebook going, look how happy they all
100%.
are. They've got perfect lives.
They have what I want.
Right.
They have what I want. And it's exactly that. It is the Facebook. It's the fucking Instagram. Everyone's dressed to the nines. Everyone's putting on a front of, we're here at the royal wedding, so, like, we're all happy and this is great, and we're all ignoring the fact that, like, a bunch of lords were just killed at a wedding.
Right.
We're skating over that.
And ignoring that there's starving people outside the walls about 100 feet that way.
And so he wonders, disgustingly, what would she do if I just leaned over and fucking kissed her right here, right now, in front of everyone? And he's like, she'd probably recoil. Like, yeah, no fucking shit,
right?
Dumbass.
You two have never shared any physical contact at all, so for you to lean over and rape her in public?
Besides your wedding day, assault her in public, right. Besides your wedding day when you did the kiss for the wedding, she has made it quite clear that she wants no physical contact with you. And so far, you've respected it. Barely, as much as you want to the contrary.
Externally, at least.
Right. So, like, yeah, of course she would fucking... And then he's like, or she would just take it as her duty. And she's nothing if not dutiful, this wife
Right,
of
which
mine.
is him going, I could probably get away with it if I force myself on her, she's not going to say no.
Again, being pissed off that she's armoring herself in her courtesy, that she's the dutiful wife. Of course she's going to call Robb Stark a traitor. Of course she's going to kiss her lord husband in public at the king's wedding, because that's her duty and she knows that. She's going to take no joy from it, and that's what pisses him off.
Right.
Because, I'm so unlovable. It has very little to do with the way you look.
She's been forced into a loveless situation where she can't... It's not safe for her to open up in any way.
She's been shown that
anybody.
1,000,000 times over. She's been shown that. Yeah.
So then we get a little song picking up about the wonderful Renly.
The singers start. Lord Renly's Ride is the new hit single coming to Westeros from Hamish the Harper. And I very much so here got Tourney at Harrenhal vibes, as this is the Rhaegar song that makes the young maiden weep, as Marjorie will start to get a little dewy-eyed. And later we'll get the, upending of the flagon of wine over Benjen. I mean, it's Benjen. Lyanna does it over Benjen for laughing, but Joffrey over Tyrion. So there's some fun tourney at Harrenhal vibes going on here. A weird, horrible parallel to that interesting little situation.
Yeah, and as the singers continue and the feast continues, Tyrion starts talking some mad shit about the singers and how they're, making all these other people seem like these great heroes. And this is the time when Garland finally speaks up.
Right before that, there's a point where he leans over and asks Sansa, so who is your favorite singer? Because the singers are competing. Like, one of them will get, the prize, whoever's chosen.
The golden harp.
And he's like, so who is your favorite singer, Sansa? And she's like, oh, shit, sorry, my lord. I wasn't paying attention. Which I believe is meant to show how far, well, yes, but how far Sansa has come. She...
Right, doesn't listen. That was her fucking life when she first got here. The songs and the bards.
She said it was a beautiful ceremony earlier, and like that could almost be seen as some regression of like, oh no, pretty girl.
Yeah, but then you see that she's ignoring her favorite part about these things, which is the songs.
She's not paying attention. She hasn't heard them. Right. One, I do believe, because like she's kind of aware that she's going to be fleeing the city this evening, and so there's some nerves about that.
Is she aware?
Well, she stashed clothes away for this very reason, and like Dantos told her to, dress warm and dress dark and all that fun stuff. So she has her little hidden stash of clothes that she hid away.
Yeah, so it's more the apprehension of belief to me, where it's that like I'm going to do these things, but can this really, like, what could Dantos?
But yes, there's disassociation from the abuse she suffered. And it's that, her growth of, like, this isn't the beautiful pageantry ceremony that she once believed it is. Because we also get, with the singer's line of Sansa calling out, Cersei never did that. Like, she knows as well that the songs aren't true anymore.
Right,
And so, yes, as you were saying, Tyrion is mocking the singers and...
Right, because she makes that comment. That's what I forgot, that Cersei never did that because it was the comforting them during Blackwater. And he's like, you're never
believe everything you hear in the songs. And, like, she clearly does. She just said that.
That's what she said. Like, she didn't say that.
But, yeah, he quips on it and...
Garland's like, bro, you built the chain, dog. Like, we'd have been fucked. You cleared out the beaches. Right. Like, what are you talking about? And... Not that he deserves it, but Tyrion swells with an enormous sense of pride.
He's super grateful.
That's what, technically, yes, that's what your dad should have done back when it happened, but you knew it wasn't going to.
Right.
But Varys told you, like, Garland is a Varys type with that, like, it's for the people. I'd rather see people not, like,
because Garland's wife says, like, you should be a singer, and Garland's like, no, my good wife, like, he's meant to do great deeds, not sing of them, which, great things can also be terrible things.
Right.
And so I do think that's some foreshadowing of his time with Daenerys. But, yeah, like, Blackwater was a great thing. It was a terrible thing. He lit a bunch of men on fire and, like, hundreds, thousands potentially died. But, like, right, you saved the city, and there are people who know that. And so regardless of this bullshit song singing about Joffrey singing the city, there are those of us who know. And so, yes, Tyrion swells because, he's been told it twice, and that's all he wants is a little validation that, like, it was you. But, yeah, Garland's a real one, and we fucking love him.
So the songs finally come to an end, and...
Night officially falls.
We learn that, according to the Dothraki, this is, in fact, a dull affair, because a Dornishman was stabbed.
Yep.
And Joffrey's the only death. So, like, that wasn't even 3 deaths.
Yeah, the Dornishman gets sewn up by one of the maesters, and so, like, no one dies yet.
And Tyrion's like, finally, we're about to... Bring me my jousters!
Right. Joffrey is well and truly drunk at this point. Again, I think Marjorie knows and has been intentionally feeding him drinks, getting him a little less than, perceptive as to what's going on around him. And, of course, Tyrion can't really make out the jousters as they're coming through, and then sees that they're dwarves.
On dogs.
One on a dog, one on a sow.
Right.
And, of course, I do believe one of these is Penny's brother.
Yes.
That Tyrion will be meeting later on. And, of course, this is a stag and a wolf, and the room is erupting in laughter, all except Sansa, which Tyrion could love her for that. But it seems more so that she's just disassociating.
Yeah, so... For me, I get that this could be a jab at Tyrion, but dwarfs in this world are typically used as entertainment.
As mummers.
And as mummers.
Yeah.
And so...
It 100% is a
yes,
jab at Tyrion.
obviously.
Yes.
But Tyrion could have not been a mopey bitch here.
Right.
And enjoyed the entertainment to at least... I mean, the whole thing's a farce anyway.
Yeah.
You being here's a fucking farce. Pretend. What are you doing, you stupid fuck?
Right, he even does the internal of like, well, it's not the dwarves' fault, so like I'll make sure they're paid and da-da-da-da-da. Like, they're probably getting paid. Like, that's...
Well, he's the master of coin is the main reason.
Well, right,
I
but
was
you didn't
thinking
set
that,
this
like,
up.
Well, and it was this, to me, it was, well, yeah, you're going to do your job and make sure that the actors are paid. I sure hope so, but,
Right.
like... That's not because you're a good person.
Yeah.
That's because Cersei had already arranged for the payment to occur this way.
Joffrey, Tywin,
whoever it
right.
is. Yeah.
They're all amused by it. He even thinks he sees like the shadow of a smile on Tywin, but it's an absolutely ludicrous show of them just, being slapstick and silly.
Right.
They're chasing each other around. One is trying to butt fuck the other one. Like, it's a mockery of Robb Stark more than anything.
Right.
And then, of course, Joffrey at the end declares that, the stag is the winner, but only a true champion if he takes on all challengers. And there just so happens to be a dwarf at the high table who could challenge. And so Tyrion, a little disassociation of his own, doesn't recall getting up on the table, but loudly proclaims, and I do like that it says, the most hideous attempt at a smile the Seven Kingdoms has ever seen, throws back at Joffrey, only if you get on the other one.
Me? I'm not a dwarf. Why me?
Because you're the only one in this room I'm certain to defeat to best.
Damn.
And like savage, the Tyrion
but everybody laughs.
Right.
It's a joke. I mean,
this whole thing is a joke.
And so that's like, you idiot, Tyrion, because that could have been played down if Joffrey didn't go psycho mode here.
Yeah, right. Joffrey's fucking irate, which is satisfying for Tyrion, of course. And then as he jumps down, he blows Cersei a kiss, which I do like that as well, because Cersei's not pleased. And then Garland, my boy, he's like...
Joffrey comes charging up.
Yeah, he's like, Tyrion, the king...
You son of a bitch, I'll fucking kill you!
Yeah.
And he's like, bro...
And he pours the wine right over Tyrion, and it burns. And even Garland, Garland, the balls on him, Your Grace, that was ill done. Like, he fucking says that to Joffrey, and Tyrion's like, no, Sir Garland.
He finally tries to de-escalate.
Yeah, he's like, shit, I don't want it to get any uglier, so, like, Sir Garland, no, like, the king, it's not often that the king, bequeaths a lowly subject to be his cupbearer. It's just a shame that the wine spilled, and of course Joffrey isn't tactful.
I didn't spill it, and it's not supposed to be on honor.
Right, yeah. And so Marjorie and Olenna show up immediately because,
things are going off track.
They need him at a specific place at this table with the chalice, and they're trying to coax him back to his chair, and he demands Tyrion refill the chalice.
And that's where the chalice was... Olenna gave it to Mace and was like, you need to gift this to him.
Yeah.
Like, she
100%.
forced him. Like, because obviously,
because that's how he's going to drink.
I agree with you with... Mace has no fucking idea.
No.
Guy's an oaf.
Yes,
he's an idiot.
He's too stupid.
I enjoy the character of
Mace,
but he's a dumbass.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mace has no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Olenna was like, give him this heirloom. It's wonderful. It's a kingly gift.
It's beautiful.
But it will ensure that he is drinking because that's the thing to do from his new father-in-law is to be seen, using his gift. And so, yeah. And I also do notice here that, like, it almost feels like George forgot the size of the chalice.
It was a huge-ass thing, right?
Now,
and now
Joffrey he's one-handing it.
Right,
and
kicked around on the floor.
So, yeah, he's like, you fill my chalice now. And so Tyrion does, and then has to kneel as he presents it up to him.
Yeah, because as I recall, Tyrion had mentioned, and granted exaggeration, especially from this little fuck, that it was almost as tall as he is.
Yeah, and that Joffrey would be fucking shit-faced from, like, a single thing of it. Because he empties in a whole flagon here to present it to him. Tyrion expects to get another bath of wine, but Joffrey just takes it. And then Garland helps him up, my boy. And then Tywin is the one who calms shit down.
The pie!
Well,
Marjorie
he doesn't do that. But, Tywin's like, the pie is here, Your Grace, and it requires your sword. And so, like, oh, okay. And so Joffrey's like, yeah, we gotta do the pie now, and turns away and goes with Marjorie down to the pie. He goes to draw Widow's Wail, and Marjorie has to remind him that Valyrian steel is not for cutting pies, Your Grace. And he's like, oh, right. And then calls for...
Instead, he gets Valyrian steel from fucking Ilyn Payne.
No, it's a regular sword.
But then why does she say that she sees him melt it down?
Because she knew he had ice. And now he doesn't because it was melted down to make...
Right, the one for Brienne.
Right, so she's wondering where the fuck is ice.
What did he do with ice?
But he calls Sir Ilyn out because the pie is fucking huge. And Tyrion thinks the specter at the feast, which I love, like as Ilyn just kind of like materializes out of mist and is like, hey. Well, he can't talk, but... And... Yeah, see, Sansa immediately, like, I like that kind of jostles her out of her disassociation, where she's like, what sword does Sir Ilyn have? What has he done with my father's sword?
Right.
And Tyrion immediately thinks he should have sent ice back to Robb Stark, and then looks at Tywin, who Tywin's and it's that. Tyrion knows. He knows that Widow's Wail is made from...
Read too fast or something.
From ice, but because Ilyn has a brand new sword that the hilt is it's got the grinning skull with the ruby eyes. Yes. Like Tywin gave him.
I think I confused myself because I was like, I don't remember him giving a Valyrian like part of ice to Ilyn.
Right. Tywin made sure he was compensated with a brilliant sword,
but not a
Valyrian one because the other one goes to Jaime. Well, would in Jaime's next, but he doesn't accept it. And so, they take Ilyn's sword, the pie is sliced and served, and then Joffrey...
This is also when Tyrion decides, I don't want pie, and I gotta piss.
Well, right, he's like, I'm all sticky.
I should get out of here.
I want to change.
And Sansa's very pale, like, she's clearly not wanting... Sansa's pale because it's the end of the night, and she's still here.
Right.
What's happening?
Yep. And so, and we did also, I did mean to note earlier that, like, we do note that Dantos is around. And,
right, because he's chasing Moonboy.
Yeah, and like, I wonder if we got this chapter from Sansa's, if it was just alternated a little bit.
Watching Dantos
She probably would have been fucking following his little ass around the whole night. And so, just interesting. But Joffrey comes up to torture the fuck out of Tyrion some more. And he's like,
where do you think you're going?
Right.
I still need more drink.
You're my cupbearer now, so you ain't going nowhere. And he straight up shoves his hand into Tyrion's pie, which is just absolutely sad. Like, there is no attempt at...
He takes a swill right then. He takes a drink. Is it this one that
he set the chalice down when he went to do the pie. That's when Olenna was like, plop.
Right.
Got him. Fucking, because Tyrion just refilled it.
Right.
Just refilled it. And so, Olenna popped it in as they were all walking back to the table. And Marjorie had him arm in arm, let's go do the pie. And so it's right here when he takes that swig and then shoves his hand into Tyrion's. And he's like, look, there's pictured pie.
Why aren't you eating it?
Starts to eat it. It's dry, needs washing down, which, again, Jack Gleason's fucking portrayal of this in the show, even to that line of, like, needs washing down, though, is just fucking brilliant. And so he begins to cough. And, at first he's playing it off as, like, no, the pie is flaky and dry.
Same with the actress in the show for Olenna. Somebody help the poor boy. He's choking. Like, she starts calling
Marjorie's
out.
The first one who cries out, he's choking. And so Garland and Osmond Kettleblack.
They do not
Garland
take CPR.
Starts slamming him on the back. Osmond rips his collar open to try to, like, allow for some breathing. And then, of course, it's Olenna who fucking screeches, which... Brilliant. Right. It's the mother-in-law first crying for help, but she knows he's coughing. He's coughing. It's too late. There is nothing to be done now. Right. It's in there. So
that's why she's willing
drawing
to call
alarm to it is fine. And so Joffrey begins they're trying to help him. The High Septon immediately goes into praying, which I just thought was very interesting. Of like, you're no fucking help here. Like, you serve
you're
no
just a religious
purpose.
Guy. You're not,
like, religion is important aside, you are a useless man. Like, your only fucking purpose is to just
be the religious figure. Like, that's all that the Septon is.
Our Father who art in heaven.
Right.
Like,
so now that guy's dying, he's going to drop to his knees and do the only thing he can do.
It's not confirmed he's dying yet, though. The king could be saved.
He's choking. What fucking pastor do you know is going to run up and be like, I know CPR? He's a lazy piece of shit. I
guarantee if a kid starts choking, a priest is going to run up and try to fucking help by slamming him on the back. I don't remember who it is that tries to... Oh, it's Meryn. Meryn shoves a fucking spoon down his throat.
Yeah.
Like,
try and get them.
There are things that could be done to save him. He immediately is already in, like, the death rites. And, like...
It's that... I think that's, as you're highlighting, we're just arguing about agreeing on the same thing.
Right,
he's
useless.
a useless piece of shit. He was brought here because he's the most bendable. He's the most easy for them to be, for the queen, for Cersei to be like, yeah, you're in my pocket. So when something real's happening, he's doing the only thing he actually knows how to do.
Insane.
Which is the same thing that he knows how to do even when he's doing it properly.
I just love that it's so premature that he's like, yeah, he's dead. He's fucking dead.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think that's not... He's not saying the prayer because he's dead. He's saying, God, please help him survive. Save him.
But, like...
Not he's dead
It reads as, like, he's already fucking do it. Like, get the scepter out. He's dead. Poor boy. To me, it did. So, absolute chaos ensues. Pycelle, who was drunkenly asleep, springs awake and is like, someone bring me to my chambers to get my potions. Like... Yeah, we've got time for you to waddle your ass away anyway.
Right.
Like, it's going to take you an hour just to get up and down the fucking stairs.
And that, again, so far it's been yelled that he was choking. The fuck are your potions going to do?
Right.
Rinse down the fucking pork? The pie? Like...
And then we get the best piece of advice from Mace Tyrell, who's like, hoist him up by the ankles and fucking shake him out.
Shake it out of him.
Which Olenna wanted. Like,
right.
Mace being fucking stupid-ass Mace just shows, like, he's got no fucking clue what he's doing. He's just here to have a good time.
So through the chaos, Tyrion decides to try and find Sansa.
Right.
And he can't spot her. Things are crazy. So he thinks, I should get out of here, too. I should leave, too.
Joffrey here begins to fucking claw, gouges.
He Lady Stonehearts.
He Stonehearts.
He gouges his throat out.
Yo, yes. I never caught this before, but he is ripping fucking flesh from his neck, and Tyrion can see how hard the muscles are in his throat as they're trying to work, but it just has fucking tightened right up.
Yeah.
And
loved that analogy, like that.
Yeah. Ugh. Beautiful. And Joffrey's eyes meet Tyrion's. And Tyrion has the Snape moment of, he has Jaime's eyes. Like, shit, I never noticed that. And then he reaches or points at Tyrion.
So I think it's absolutely, Joffrey thinks that he did.
Yeah, this is you. This was you little fuck.
And so it is absolutely reading is that whether it's him reaching out to try to strangle him or pointing out that it was him that did it, I think the show, went too obvious with it. Where it was straight, like, he's pointing at him, and it's this, like, he's giving him the chance to, him here.
Yeah, I like that this moment seems just for them.
Just them.
Like,
I agree.
Because, like, Cersei does shriek immediately after. But
when she sees him.
Right, but it's in response to Joffrey. It's not like, it's Tyrion's fault. Like, it's just she's shrieking about Joffrey. And Tyrion thinks of Robb. And I just love that. Like... Yeah. This is it. This is our fucking... He was just thinking in his last chapter, it's high summer for the Lannisters. Why do I feel so bloody cold?
Yeah.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. So he hears Cersei scream and again tells himself he needs to leave, but doesn't.
He walks closer. He goes closer.
And then Tywin is there.
Well, because he grabs the chalice here.
Right.
And finds the chalice on the floor, and it's still got a bit of the purple wine in it. And he empties it. Instead of putting it on the table and being like, we should have a maester look at this, see if there's anything in there. Because he considers it for a moment, almost like he's going to drink it.
See, to me, it's still he thinks that it's choking. He doesn't so he's just looking at the goblet and just kind of moving it out of his way.
He's not trying to empty it, like, as any, like, hide the evidence or anything. But it's that of, like, there's a reason you don't fuck with crime scenes. You emptied this wine, which was probably the only way to prove your own innocence. Because I'm sure...
Yeah, that's a lot of foresight for in that moment.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, you're an idiot, I think, for emptying the fucking chalice that he was drinking from. There might have been, the little pebble of the fucking stone left at the bottom still that hadn't completely dissolved into it. Who knows? But you just fucking pour it out on the floor, and then in the madness, no one's gonna look at that puddle anymore.
I mean, it's not like it's 1995 and modern forensics are in. I don't think anybody's going to be looking at the chalice much more than that either.
If he in his trial is claiming that it wasn't me, he must have been poisoned, which Cersei claims here at the end that he poisoned him. Like, they could have looked in there and seen, and it may not have proved his innocence, because if they saw the stone,
I don't think it was a stone. I think it was drops of poison that were dropped.
She took that, but
either way, I don't think that it would have. I don't think it was a stupid move.
I do. It looks guilty to him. It looks like he's getting rid of evidence right then and there.
To me, it looks like he's saving the evidence, keeping it from getting trampled in the chaos, pick it up off the ground and put it up there. Now we can look at it. But what are they going to look for? You're not going to find fingerprints. I think
the Maesters could find a way to test for poisoning.
Under their microscope while they're going through the DNA evidence?
You can put flowers in there and see if they wilt or die in reaction to poison. Like, I'm sure there are ways to test for poisoning. They straight up, figure out that people die from poisoning.
That's true. Pycelle is getting his potions. So.
I'm not saying that Pycelle would do it or even announce the truth of it.
I don't think it's a big deal.
It looks incriminating to me, is what I'm saying. Like, if anyone is watching this, him immediately running over and being like, oh, there's still some in there, pouring it out and then setting it up, just, not the smartest move. And again, he's not in his right mind either.
Yeah,
it's chaos.
I'm right and you're wrong.
You're always wrong.
So,
you're not right.
He does get there. Tywin is trying to get Cersei to let go of the boy. Because she's crazy.
It takes 2 Kingsguard to pry her off of him.
This is when I have that the High Septon starts praying. Is after he's been, I'm going to pull out my book, because I'm guessing he prayed twice, like he did right when the choking happened.
Because then there's also a dog sniffing after, sniffing at the corpse, which has to be shooed away, which is just a dark fucking omen.
Right.
Jesus. The dog immediately begins.
Yeah, he starts.
Well, I'm sure he prays there,
right.
But
it's right at that moment, not before when he drops to his side as he's dying, and the dog is there. Shoot the dog away, and then the High Septon knelt beside him. Father above, judge our good King Joffrey justly, beginning the prayer for the dead. And so he does start it right after he dies, which is very quick in the he got a whole second and a half.
Here. Sir Garland shoved Tyrion aside and began to pound Joffrey on the back. Osmond Kettleblack ripped the king. A fearful sound, blah, blah, blah. Turn him over, Mace shouted. Turn him over and shake him by the heels. The High Septon began pray loudly. Grand Maester shouted for someone to bring him back to his chambers.
Yeah, so regular pray, I think, this is the prayer of the death.
Sure, 100%. That's the
useless regardless.
Right.
The prayer of the death is going to serve just as much help as the prayer that he did with the Kettleblacks.
But yes, a dog is sniffing at him. Cersei has to be pried away by 2 Kingsguard. Tywin is the one who officially declares him dead, though. He's dead, Cersei. Let him go.
Right.
And brutal.
Yeah, and then,
Tywin.
like you said, 2 Kingsguard have to pry her off, it said. Not just lift, come on, it's okay. No, they had to, fucking yank her away from this dead kid.
Marjorie is inconsolable in her mother's arms, and Lady Allery is saying, it had not to do with you. He choked. We all saw it. He choked on his pigeon pie. And Cersei's like, fuck the fuck, no, he did not choke. He was poisoned. And then she calls upon the Kingsguard to do their duty, and Loras is like, what?
I'm sorry, what's arrest my brother.
And his little wife.
And his little fucking wife.
They killed my son. And that's the end of the chapter, is the accusation there that Sansa and Tyrion killed Joffrey.
Right.
Which, Sansa fled. She disappears into the night, and that, plays into it.
That cements in the...
Yeah.
That more so than that fucking chalice bullshit.
Nah. But that's it. Joffrey's dead. Praise be.
This chapter is fucking amazing.
Yeah, this chapter
is a lot of fun to read through this.
It's cathartic. Joffrey has fucking tortured, abused, assaulted so many people, so to finally get some comeuppance, some small victory against absolute injustice in this series is absolutely satisfying, and it's gratifying. Finally, some sort of small victory for the good guys.
Right.
And then, compounded with the fact that Sansa escapes, in quotes, because she's then with Littlefinger.
Right, one prison to the next.
Exactly.
She's getting a prison transfer, but
she's out of here, and, like, we're all grateful for that. And
that, from what we've seen, yes, we know Creeper Baelish is Creeper. He's a little pedo boy. He has his problems. He's not actively physically traumatizing Sansa regularly yet.
And she's going to get his ass.
And that, like, I feel like she is technically safer at the moment than she was in
She
King's
has a
Landing.
little more power.
And, I mean, keep in mind as well that, again, full spoilers here, this is not the show. Sansa, as far as we know, is not going to be in Winterfell with Ramsay Bolton.
Fuck no.
That is Arya, who is not Arya.
Yeah, Jane Poole.
Jane Poole is up there. And so Sansa, at last we knew, is still up in the fucking Eyrie.
She's a lane, bitch.
And
so, she's getting Harry the Heir, the Winged Knights.
Safety-wise, I think she is more safe here. Right. She's got some cool shit going on.
Yeah, she's going to get Littlefinger's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's got his number. She's coming out of King's Landing here much smarter. Tenfold times smarter than she ever was coming to King's Landing.
Right.
She knows not to trust
Anybody.
anyone and blatantly for any reason now. Littlefinger least of all. And so, yeah, like, she absolutely is in a better position now than she was here. And fuck Tyrion. I'm glad she just kind of fucks off and leaves him to deal with the rest of the fallout.
Right, and that, again, he may be one of all of our favorite Lannister. Jaime is coming up and slipping in there, but Tyrion's still a Lannister.
Jaime's always slipping in.
And he is always
slipping it in.
And so there's no reason that Sansa should feel any kind of
remorse.
Why? Because he didn't rape her?
Yeah, right.
That's what makes a good person, is just that's the one thing, is granted, that's why there's so many other terrible people, because they wouldn't, but because he's holding back, he's automatically the best of the Lannisters.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, leave him. He deserves it.
Excellent. We love wedding chapters in these books.
Yeah.
They're always fun. And as you said, a Dothraki tradition, a wedding without at least
three deaths is a dull affair.
Maybe
so
it's two. Huh? This wedding kind of sucked in
contrast
to every other one.
Shitty wedding.
But if you count Tyrion and Oberyn, like, there will be people dying still because of the wedding.
And Tywin
and Shae. So like, we're getting, the body count will continue rising because of this wedding. But that's it for Tyrion 7. Is that what this one is?
This one was 8.
8. And then next we'll be going to Sansa 5. And that'll be the absolute, the last fallout. She'll be making her wild flight into the night with Dantos. And Dantos will be getting his final reward from his co-conspirator. And we'll learn who actually is spiriting Sansa away. Spoiler alert, it's Creeper Baelish. But they'll be heading to the Eyrie, where he has been consolidating his power to help consolidate hers, and
in the thinking that he's going to be getting her power,
and that'll be the first, like, the unraveling of his thread. Will be giving Sansa the power in the Eyrie that he's about to. And so first, though, they've got to go to his home in the Fingers, and that's a fun little detour, because she realizes he comes from shit, literal like sheep shit that they have to like burn. But that's
so
next chapter.
Have anything you want to tell us, ask, any of that,
tell Nate how wrong he is.
Send us an email, withoutmannersbrotherhood@gmail.com, or, as some people have been doing recently, leave us a comment on Spotify or YouTube. Those are
rates and reviews are always welcome. They help get the word out that we're awesome.
Subscribe, hit the subscribe button on wherever you're listening.
But we've been seeing some new followers, new people, new comments. We always love that. We love engaging with you guys. Any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, theories, ideas, send them all in. We love hearing from you.
Yeah, because if not, then I have to listen to this and I'm sick of it.
Right, he doesn't like my chalice talk for some fucking reason.
I'm supposed to be the tinfoil crazy theories, and he's over here talking about fucking modern day forensics. This is crazy.
I'm not saying modern day forensics.
Yeah,
I'm saying that they have proven before that people have died of poisoning. So they clearly have a way of testing for poisoning.
Yeah, they wait till the body decomposes in unnaturally fast ways, and then they're like, that was clearly poison. That must be it. So
Right.
in
And
3 weeks, they will know. It won't be because of that cup,
I
though.
guarantee you could have put like some rose petals in there and they would have shriveled up in reaction to the poison or something of that accord.
Maybe. Guess we'll never know.
Pycella's got his little pH test strips.
That's what I was like.
and,
That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, what are they gonna drop in some fucking base liquid in there and just it turned
Well,
red?
I mean,
it's
you
red.
also
You see how
thought
red
that
it
like
is?
he was poisoned with droplets, so like you don't know what the fuck's happening.
You don't know if you
clearly.
break the stone and there's fluid inside of it. You don't know
Get-
shit. You don't know shit.
It's a fucking gushers now. All right,
Great. I think with that, we're out of here.
Valor to Harris.
Peace.